Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 5 to 10 on Tuesday night, the 14th of November 2023. Back with one from each track tomorrow, all on the go. First thing, I'd like to pay condolences to Paul Butler on the death of his wife 7 weeks ago. He left a message. I was wondering where he was gone to, because he was a regular contributor for a long time. He said his wife passed away suddenly 7 weeks ago, so sincere condolences, Paul. I wish I'd known it in time, and I might have done something. Also to Crystal Ward, or Christine as she signed it today. A cousin of hers passed away as well the last couple of weeks. I actually got bad news as well the last few days. A very close friend of mine was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, and he is going to get, I think he's heading into hospital tomorrow, so best wishes to him. Paul Butler had said, I think he was in Birmingham anyway. I'm not sure if he still is or not, because we shared crossover comments at times. He knew a couple of pubs in Birmingham that an uncle and his wife, the White Swan in Digbeth, they used to run for the brewery, and another aunt and had a pub in Moseley, the Prince of Wales. So my parents were married in the early 60s in Sparkhill in Birmingham. I was there a good bit in my teenage years. Not too much after that. I'm due a spin there shortly, but it'll be the new year now, because I was going to go over in early December, but a cousin of mine that was going to see is going to Australia for 6 weeks. So I only got wind of that yesterday as I was going making arrangements. I was trying to get in a meeting of horse racing. Anyway, I'm rattling on a bit too much. Today, if things went right yesterday, things didn't go so well today. We had Klitschko up first, raining, and maybe the handbrake on in the on position for a little bit of the race towards the end didn't help us. The rain, I think, was the more important factor. It had won its bumper and hurdle race on good ground, and you could see that it was pissing rain at that time. For the power of money for Solray, went off favourite. Drawn in 7, came out back at last out of the stalls, and finished up over on the far rail instead of taking his time and coming up the near rail where Pendleton and the second horse came, because that is like the Golden Highway near the rail here. But he learned from his mistakes, and one more for the road. Had more than one for the road. Must have had a few shots of whiskey. Came out like a scalded cat and being so long off the track, he wasn't going to keep up that pace. And actually, when they withdrew a horse just before the off, I said, as sure as shit, I said he'll probably finish third. I think he finished a nose fourth. But we'll have days like that. Tomorrow, I watched a power of videos. Well, more so, from the English side of it. I had one picked out from Dundalk. But the first race is on tomorrow for us at 4:15. I went to the better races in England. This is a class 3. It's a mile race. Grand little race. There's a horse there, Parlando. We backed it. It finished third in Newcastle a couple of runs back. That was bought out of the boys in blue for, I think it was 105,000. But it liked it. It ran okay on the track. The time it was behind Helen Rock, and I said Williams will probably pick up a race with somebody. But it seems he ran on well enough. Showed a bit of toe in Wolverhampton, but it just lacks a bit, as they say, tactical pace. The other horse the way back before Urban Sprawl. There's a horse there, Shaladair. I think it was Fionn Adam. Where are we here? pointed out the run it got the last day, but it's last place as we see it, and it finishes up second. But that was in a Class 4 race as well. And it can often happen. You see, what happens is on the rail, you won't get out.
Eldrick Jones drawn out for an effort. OG Beachwear in the centre is next, then King Mania, but it's still Power of Darkness pouring on the pressure here. Mikkel Mortensen, Telly Red giving chase. Eldrick Jones finishing well. Pale Blue Jacket, White Cap right down the middle, and here's Shaladar being produced late. Eldrick Jones from the fast finishing Shaladar as they go inside the final half furlong. Eldrick Jones with first run will go on to score a double for Johnny Pete.
But horses that I noticed, especially there at Newcastle, if they're unlucky once, they'll be unlucky again. This is a Class 3, that was a Class 4. Zosimus is another one that is unlucky in running. I tipped it up the last it was supposed to run, but the meeting was called off at the time. It's a horse that has ran well on the go before. When it was with Donnacha O'Brien, it ran 4 times in Dundalk. It actually won its maiden in Dundalk. Ran second and third in 2 maidens prior to that, and then ran 4th, wasn't it? 5th off 94 in handicap. Similar to that as well, it was unlucky enough the last day. The horse I came down on is Titan Rock from John Quinn. I think the mile might suit this, and I think the last time they ran was the first time it ran at a mile. You can see down along the line that it was always 7. Oh, there was one run there, it was 5th to Guru. But it was rated in the 90s for a good while. It won off 90s, 7 furlongs in air. It hasn't ran in... No, it ran once in Newcastle in handicap. But the last day behind Revich, it's a horse... The reason I picked it was it might get first run, and I like to see them some of them getting first run in Newcastle. This is him in the purplish colours.
Doors are closed. Here's Titan Rock down the outside being produced along with Revich as they enter the final furlong. Judgment Call has now been overtaken. Titan Rock and Revich move on as the leading pair. Serona is fading. Koi gets it out, but it might be too late. It's Revich from last place down the outside of Titan Rock, and Revich wins the race again from Titan Rock.
Revich is a decent little horse. Done us a good turn in Chester earlier this year. But he went up £2 from 85 to 87. But Gianluca Sanna is taken off 5. Now, I don't know where this lad was all year, because he's only ridden twice in all year. And he was 3rd. But he does ride for John Quinn. You can see there for John Quinn, he had 20 rides, 4 wins and a place. That's batting 20%. But he's only had 2 runs, so he must be out of the country, or was he injured, or what, I don't know. So that's the one I picked. Let's just check at the prices. There's a lot of turbulence in the market I was noticing this evening there. Titan Rock is 8 to 1. They're paying 4 places, a lot of the bookies. Fantastic Fox won as well the last day in Chelmsford. And it won classy enough. Aidan Keeley taking off £1. This is a nightmare, but I had to pick one. That's the one I picked. Titan Rock. It was a similar case in the... Well, was he not? The 540. I had to get one in Dundalk, and this is the one I got. I got Morning Approach. 1.5 miles. This actually won first time out in Dundalk. Over 7 furlongs. 8 to 1. There was a bit of money for that. I think it was 16s or 20s into 8. So then it got a rating of 80. It came all the way down to 57 and was second in Cork last year. Handicapper put up £7. I hate to see that happen when you're second and you have your load shot like at that point. It went up without winning a couple of races, and then it won off 67 up to 71. It's back down again now to 63, but it was second in Leopardstown over 9 furlongs there in 17th of August. It's only beaten 3/4 of a length. And the last time it ran in Dundalk, it didn't get the healthiest of hope beginnings. That's it with the white cap, but it started.
Knocked away.
He loses position here. He's in the white with the red spots. He was drawn 3.
River, alongside the top
Number
weight,
2.
the bank going up to them, both Turbo Sprint, and now for Reader being footed by Dynamite, Morning Approach on the inside of Hope and Innocence, and then Ferry Bank and NL and Fleetfoot Soldier and Skontanovsky Try Hard, She's Local. Sugri at the rear of the field with just over 6 furlongs.
He lost his position at that point.
Try Hard is one behind Sugri. They're well past the half.
So he was well back. But that's him with the white hat.
Inside being stoked up was Alf Reader and Andy Slattery keeping in Fink River and Joey Sheridan, who's got the break as they race inside the final furlong. Ferry Bank from the Bog Bank on the stand side is Skontanovsky, and then Fink River and Alf Reader next with Fleetfoot Soldier, and She's Local, and it's Skontanovsky and Ronan Whelan coming to lead from Ferry Bank and the Bog Bank and Fink River, and it's Skontanovsky driven out to win by less than 2 lengths. And Ferry Bank, Fleetfoot Soldier made it interesting that
finished that race on the snaff. That Skontanovsky has won since, but the step up in trip, I think will suit Morning Approach. It was a 8-1 shot there earlier. I think it's into 6s now, whatever. And there's a race at Kempton. It's a class 3 as well. It's 1.5 miles. We have what in it? We have several horses with live chances. That's Savvy Knight. It won a race in Kempton before. Capital Theory was 3rd in the final last week when that royal scandal, wasn't it? No, who finished back? Well, Capital Theory. The horse I finished or picked was Enthrallant. Hasn't ran in a while, but this used to be with Dermot Weld in Ireland, and it left Ireland rated 85. It won a maiden in Tipperary. Its first run was to that's aforementioned Savvy Knight, who got first run. We'll show that in a second. But then it's that's to show that it handled the track. It had a good race then in Ascot. When the step up and trip, you would say, would definitely suit. Just 4 lengths back to the 3rd. We drove 16-1 in this race.
Giovanna in behind him. So they race then down the straight. El Rayed still with the advantage from Intricacy and Enthrallant chasing them hard over on the far side. Plugging on is Perfect Thunder. Saturno Japan's ridden but not really finding much. Lion Kingdom plugging on, so too Pledge of Honor from the back of the field. He's one to watch for. Intricacy is though out in front. Intricacy from Enthrallant. 3rd place for El Rayed as Pledge of Honor still stays on. Intricacy is a length in front from Enthrallant as they go up towards the line. Intricacy for Simon and Ed Crisford. Another winner for them. Beats Enthrallant and they were clear of El Rayed.
I think we were on Intricacy that day, weren't we? I'll have to double check that. But to prove that he ran or he likes the surface. Oh, what happened here? We'll fast forward it now.
Final 3 parts of a mile shortly. It's Dreams a Dozen by half a length over Temporize in 2nd. Royal Scandal still held together in 3rd. Likewise Cool Party to her outside, and then another length and a half back to Fox Journey, still being weighted with by Safi Osborne.
That's the wrong race, isn't it? Oh, I'll forget about it. I don't know where about it. He acted well on the surface anyway, the last day. The other 3 we might just do a small each ways on the on each of them, and a small each way treble. I'll write them up in a few minutes. Bash the bookies over and out.